Okay, we're getting started. Welcome to the Service Unit Roundtable for February. Thanks for being here. I'm going to do my best to pass the torch a few times tonight, just so I don't lose my voice. We have a few staff where we're feeling a little under the weather, but we appreciate y'all being here. All right, so welcome. Put in the chat, let us know where you're coming from, so we can all share. But happy World Thinking Day. Right now we have actually another our World Thinking Day event going on, our virtual event for girls. So we're really excited that's actually happening. So that's why a few staff are not on the call. They're doing that. Um, so I will let you let's keep going. Sandy actually is not going to be here. It's just going to be me and there's a few other people. So apparently we just didn't update the slide, so that's okay. So we're going to hit right to it. Let's see, who do I see? Janet, you want to say the promise for us? You want to unmute? I don't know if she heard me.
Got it. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I'm happy to do that. Okay, everybody ready?
Yep.
On my honor, I will try to serve God in my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
Thank you, Janet. All right, we're going to hop right into it. And go into some mission delivery updates. You should know by now who your community engagement manager is. If not, here's a list, and we actually have the list posted on our website now, which is great. Please always reach out to them if you are have any questions about troops or placement or membership or recruitment or anything like that. So they are your go-to in regards to membership and troop support. Here is where we are as of yesterday. We are still down 337 girl members as of last year, but we are up 337 adult members. We're up by 28 lifetime members, and we're up by 28 members total. Obviously, we want to make sure that we continue to grow our council and try to get more members. Specifically girls. We want them to be able to participate. So that's why we're doing recruitment all year long. So we'll get into that. So we are still offering the free membership promotion. It started in January. The current promotion is for new girl members. The parent or guardian must complete the interest form that's linked above to receive the free membership. There is some confusion sometimes. People will just go online thinking that they can select that option. That option is not available through the GSUSA registration system because that is a nationwide database system that cannot be tailored to our council. So the customer care and community engagement managers must process the new memberships back office in order for them to be free. We are going to extend the free membership for new girls, but the process will remain above. So we'll update this information on the website where it says winter and things like that and March 1st. So that date will be changing. But any questions about that? Because I know there's been confusion. And hopefully that helps to clarify any confusion when it comes to the free membership and why it's important. The other reason why we want to make sure that they are talking to the CEMs and customer care is that in the previous year, when we used a promo code, girls received free membership, but they didn't get placed. They didn't get placed with a troop or have the opportunity to choose Juliet or start a new troop. And so that's the other reason that we've switched to this process specifically for new. Jenna, I see your hands raised. Please go ahead and unmute and share your question.
Yeah, so do you know what the new end date is going to be so I can let people know for our event this weekend?
That is a good question. I'm pretty sure it's going to go through extended year, which is June 30th. But I will clarify for you before this weekend. I will be there, so I'll make sure that I have that date. So it looks like it's going to go through extended year, which would be June 30th. Does that help? Awesome. Okay. So here's where we are to date with our free membership promotion. So as of January 1st, it started January 1st, we've had a total of 260 submissions. We have converted and placed over 105 members. The reason why I say plus sign is because some of those duplicates are members. So say you have a family member that has more than one kid, so they'll submit duplicates, and so the system doesn't count them that way, but it doesn't recognize them as new members in that way. But anyway, and right now we have 39 new that just came in from all of the I don't know if you saw the CMs went out and they actually shared special Valentines that gave the gift of Girl Scouting to new members. And they tried to reach as many as possible, which is great. And so out of that, we've had at least 39 new come in since then. They're already in the process and they've contacted 85 of them. They're just waiting. So it's 85 additional potential members that will be coming through. We're just waiting for additional information from the parents so we can get them registered. 5 people, they already created what they call as an account, but they don't actually have a membership attached to it. And then again, 8 submissions were from existing members. And then we had 2 that one was from out of council, so it doesn't apply. And then we had one that it was a smaller area that didn't have a troop. So overall, it's been really successful. And they are working through the submissions on a daily basis to get them registered and placed, hopefully. So we're also in the process of preparing for spring renewal. So you've heard it here that we will be offering free membership renewal incentives for troop co-leaders and girl members, so current members. So these are the dates. We will they will receive a special promo code that will be shared and emailed, and we'll probably post it in the town hall and the service unit talking points and things like that. These are going to be the dates. So troop co-leaders, they'll have 2 weeks to get free renewal, 2 weeks. So April 1st through April 15th, and then girl members will have the month April 1st through May 1st. Then we will start the t-shirt renewal. So we're doing things a little bit different to make sure people have time to renew. So the girl members and adult members must renew by May 1st. Then we will open up the event in GS events so they can claim a t-shirt. It will not let them claim a t-shirt unless they have a MY or membership for 2025. And then we're also working on additional Grow Your Troop incentive to be announced at a later date. Any questions about that? These are just some of the ones that are underway at the moment. So be prepared. So how can people be prepared, right? So again, the same thing that we want to share is that this is a nationwide database and it can't be tailored. So they must use the promo code that we give them. And again, it's going to be shared via direct email and the Girl Scout Connections, the March Service Unit Talking Points, and the March Town Hall. They must have an active MY24 membership in order to renew for free for MY25. So you don't want them to wait till the last minute. So remind people to log in and look at their MyGS account to make sure they're actually currently registered for this year. They want to also verify their mailing address, their email address, their phone numbers, dates of birth, school associations, and schools grades in their household. So this is the time to look for all that information. And then we recommend they attend the March 28th town hall because we'll give some additional information on how to do it and maybe some demos at that time. If there's any issues with their accounts, please have them reach out to us at info@our-customer-care. But this is a good time to start thinking about it and preparing. Any questions?
There's a question in the chat, Jody.
Yep, let me look at it. Okay. All right, so is that with Kristen's Is that what the one you're referencing? Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Scroll down. So to verify, will the April renewals be able to get the t-shirts? Yes, so the t-shirt incentive is for those that are current members and are renewing. Right, and so this is not a new person, this is they're not joining. It's specifically designed for renewals. Does that answer your question, Kristen? So it's not where it's in the past, I will say this too, because there was confusion last year. In the past, before we started doing things through GS events, it was like the first 300 girls just got a t-shirt. Well, the problem is getting all of their sizes. We couldn't get their sizes correct, and it really delayed the process, which is why we switched to GS events where we can collect that information. That's the whole point of them claiming it. So they have to take the extra step and actually register to claim a t-shirt. So hopefully that answers most of the questions. Did I miss any other questions, Mary Ellis?
I didn't see any others. It's just that one.
Great. Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Mary Alice so she can, and I will roll through the slides, tell us all about program, since the program team is very busy with World Thinking Day.
Yes, they're actually in the other room right now. Oh, there's another question quickly.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes, I have someone who really likes the shirt, so they register. So they register in April and claim a shirt in May. Oh, so like if they register for 20, so in order to renew, the way the system will be set up is they will have to have an MY25 membership in order to claim a t-shirt. So hopefully that answers the question. Okay, great. All right. Okay, now you can go on to the program if you like.
Okay, thanks for bearing with me through this. Program team is in the other room, very busy. I've heard a lot of giggles and cute little things from girls. So we're just gonna move on through this. So upcoming programs, March 2nd, coding for CSA at Chimani. Registration closes February 26th. Yeah, it's a STEM event that they're holding. I know that there's been a newfound focus on that. So please do register as soon as you can. The deadline is next week. March 3rd, UVA versus Virginia Tech women's basketball. There was recently an event at the Rail Yard Dogs hockey game, and I think it's sort of a similar setup where it's another sports league that wants to work with us. So it was a lot of fun. I went, and the girls were able to go down and do a flag ceremony. So it's a great way for them to see women doing things in the world and professionally and otherwise. So it's a great time. Please do go ahead and register as soon as you can. March 7th, virtual highest awards, your questions answered. So this is an event that I think has happened in the past and they're bringing it back. So we'll be going to the Rock Bridge Ballet. It's a great event. I think that they did expand. It's not just brownies. So go ahead and register. Looks like to be a really fun time. Movement class, Little Mermaid performance, studio dance and arts at VMI is where it is. It's $12 for youth, $15 for adults. They're doing the badge in a box for Girl Scout Week. And it's for brownies, juniors, cadets, seniors, ambassadors. So complete badge activities, learn Girl Scout traditions, share songs. There's a song focus specifically for this particular box. And they were talking about wanting to talk about or focus on Girl Scout song traditions. So yeah, March 11th, very soon. And the Readers Club continues to be very, very popular. People are having a great time. All the girls are having an awesome time. And it's really been one of those wonderful self-led programs, girl-led programs, which we love to see. That is our mission. Yeah, so the spring bingo is March 1st through May 15th. So do go ahead and participate. Winter bingo was December 1st through the 16th. So March 1st, very soon is the next one. And then they're doing the environmental science camporee for juniors and cadets at Camp Tuckaway. It should be a lot of fun. I think they're really excited about this event, meals and snacks. And it's going to be a great time. Focus on environmental science. So again, please do register as soon as you can. It's really important for them to have numbers early to be able to anticipate and to prepare.
And I'll jump in here. This is a partnership with and led by the Campus Scouts through Virginia Tech. I don't know if it says that. Yeah, over the top. Yep, Campus
Oh,
Scouts.
yeah.
Yep, there it is. I knew it was somewhere. So yeah, so just it's they're really eager to put this on for Girl Scouts, so which is pretty cool. All
Thanks,
right.
Jody. Science and Engineering Exploration Day for Brownies. So it's at UVA. It's April 14th. I know that it's in conjunction with a sorority there as well. I think Kappa Delta. And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't think it's in conjunction with Kappa Delta. It's SWE. It's just SWE doing it, to my knowledge. The Society of Women Engineers is putting it on.
Yeah. I
they mentioned in the meeting the other day that it was SWE and maybe Kappa Delta too.
Yeah, I think they're trying to incorporate Kappa Deltas. Like, let's just say that they're trying to.
Okay. Yes, but also Society of Women Engineers have been really eager to work on this project together. So hands-on stations, take-home directions. So again, another really wonderful STEM event to get the girls doing, different types of activities, a variety of activities. Junior Jam is happening soon. Woo! So February, registration already open. So do go ahead and register. It's this May 17th through 19th, movie themed. So it should be a lot of fun. It has the potential to be such an incredible event. So please, please, please look at the details, register. Here's our list of summer camps. Very exciting. Feels crazy to think that summer is so close. And the summer camp registrations are open. So please go ahead and register. There's so much stuff going on in the spring and in the summer. So summer camp leadership training. Do go ahead and register the CITs because it's a great opportunity for them to learn some new skills and get to participate in a different way. And then the cadet program aid leadership course as well.
And there is an additional date for cadet program leadership. I'll add that. It looks like it just didn't get added to this slide, but it's I think it's April 27th is the different one. And that one's going to be and Beth, that's your area, right? So the registration is open, Beth. For some reason, it just didn't get added to the slide. But it's April 27th, right, Beth? In Grottos. Did I see her? She's still here. I might have lost Beth. All right, looks like I lost Beth. Okay. Anyway, she has another one coming up. So there are going to be 3 opportunities for that.
For the cadet program.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
There's an updated approved vendors list. So do keep abreast of that. Did you want to share a little bit about that, Jody? I'm not super familiar.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, so I know River's been working really hard to get the High Adventure approved vendors list updated and also starting to reach out to stables to get them on board. And so with the stables, it takes a little bit longer because if every 3 years we have to actually do a site inspection. One of the biggest delays for those as well is that a lot of the stables actually are having staffing issues still since COVID. But you know, if you have one, thanks Elizabeth for posting that. If you have a stable that you're interested in, please submit it to the program team, because they will definitely look in to see about getting them added. So and you can send it to the attention of River. She's the one really focusing on those. Okay. I think this is also repeat. So, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more since a lot of troops are starting to plan their trips for spring and fall, you know, spring and summer. And so I want to give y'all some tips that you can share with your troops and make sure that they understand. So we'll go into this a little bit more later. We are saying goodbye to Alyssa. She will be leaving the council and embark on a new adventure. And her last day is March 1st. She's been communicating with the summer camps. That's been most of her focus and as she's worked for the council. So we're transitioning and getting that information carried over to the other program staff that'll be taking over for her. We're sorry to see her go. All right, Brenda, I'm gonna turn product programs over to you.
Okay, great. Keep flipping.
Yep.
Let's see. Fall product, yeah. I'm not gonna be as happy as Sandy because it didn't do as good as I was hoping. And clearly she's blaming it on hot Cajun crunch. And something about salsa mix. I don't eat any of this stuff, so I'm not supposed to.
I will say
And that
salsa mix was the most popular, one of the most popular. And so the hot Cajun crunch didn't do as well as they thought as a replacement. So that was
I believe I did get to taste that when I was up, and it was a little spicy. So anyway, so I mean there were some negative impacts. USA removed some items from online direct shipments. You're always trying something. And that cheddar caramel crunch does sound good. Anyways, the girls sold at a little lower rate, not a huge amount, but you know, it happens. So thank you to everyone who did so. Go on to the next page. Okay, I gotta look at my other thing on how to pronounce this thing. So
axolotl.
it is called axolotl.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Axolotl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta move I can't read my slide with this stasis here. Anyway, so I don't know if any of you have seen one of these, but they're so creepy. So ours looks cute, but they do not. They're creepy. The council one is named Bubbles. The cookie online and order card program began December 11th. I don't know about you, but I've been stocking up on my cookies every chance I get. To eat, not to sell. Sorry, I wanted to be clear about that. I support, anyway, booth in person and online orders end on March 18th. There can be requests to the 31st. And she'll publish procedures in eBuddy by Friday. The next one, total sales so far are at 2,525,556, which is 85% of, what is she referring to? Last year's to date. Okay. And 75% of the budget. We don't really know until, obviously the end, that's the way it is. Digital sales are above where they were at this time last year at 533,986. We've had 97% of the troops compared to what is this? Troop 97% compared to last time. Does that mean 97% of our troops participate?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what she's saying.
I'm always trying to figure out what Sandy's reports mean when we're in the SLT. Because her numbers don't always match up to my numbers. The girls, there are 1,927 that are available to participate, but I don't even know. That's 89% of last year. And then she thanks everybody. I thank everybody. The council thanks everybody. We know it's a big moneymaker. Is there another slide to this? Oh, it's shop.
Yeah, just a shop.
I memorized them. While you guys were jibber jabbering, I knew exactly what the last program slide was. The Skyline Shop will be open by appointment on March 8th, to be announced in the Girl Scout Connection. You can still place orders using Skyline Shop at gsvsc.org and schedule time to pick up or have them shipped. Of course, GSUSA site is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there are online discounts both on our shop and GSUSA that are not available if you shop at the store. We do receive 35% of the revenue from the online shop. So everybody needs to be aware of that because I pay attention to that. So we actually pull in more from that than we do our brick and mortar shop. Just want to make that clear. Other than that, I don't mind doing property
Okay,
when you get to it.
okay.
So,
Yep. Okay, so it's almost time for Tough Cookie. Registration closes on March 13th, but the deadline to register to guarantee your t-shirt is March 3rd. They've actually had a good a mix of people that are going to be participating in person and almost as many as virtual. So it's really, really cool. So just remember, if you want that t-shirt, register by March 3rd. All right, property.
I'm not talking. Oh no, I did something bad.
Uh-oh, what did you do?
No, I have the pencil, so I'm going to be really careful that I don't touch anything.
Okay.
I pressed something. Anyway, I'm not going to touch anything. Ishamani, phase 2 coming soon. Some reservations can be accommodated through June. I can't talk about that. Sacagawea, the troop house is almost done. Woo-hoo! Never thought that would happen. Gay Lodge is actually having the new windows installed tomorrow. They took out the old windows yesterday. They framed them all in. They're having the install done tomorrow. So those will be done. And we're obviously doing a ton of work on the properties. Estimates are being collected for renovations to the hideaway. Everything pertaining to Tanglewood that needs to be done, and the pavilion. Those are all stacks. And then Sugar Hollow multi-purpose is still being worked on. They've gotten rid of our rat tenants who will be sadly missed. And we've cleaned that all out. We had Service Master come in and clean it all out. Wiring is okay. We've had a few updates with the wiring, and now we're going to be redoing the inside. There's going to be a new kitchen. We'll be doing some other things like get rid of that sketchy, creepy bathroom that opens up to the back woods. Like I don't know, it scares me. And there's going to be some trees that are going to be cut down that are close to the building, but then there's going to be some new trees all put in along that front fence section. And then, they're talking about additional updates, which I already told you, so I was jumping ahead. And we now have quite a few first aid kits, not just one for every camp. We have quite a few. And then we have these disgusting things called snake grabbers, which apparently we need. So I'm not going to use one, but we have had, especially at Sugar Hollow, issues with snakes. So we do keep sending professionals out there. That's always my recommendation, rather than us doing it. But hopefully, if the camps are being used more often, we'll have less of these wonderful creatures. But it is their property. And don't forget, like Melissa always points out, that there is a property rally that she updates on a regular basis. Ooh, I figured out how to
Yep.
Debbie has her hand raised, but I don't know how to let her do anything.
That's right. Debbie, you can go ahead and unmute and share.
Jody, can you elaborate on what is happening with phase 2 as far as regards to what the property's availability will be after June? And secondly, do we have any kind of update on the bunkhouse at SAC?
Want me
Brenda,
to jump in on
yeah,
that?
I think Brenda, you have probably more information than I do.
Okay, so phase 2, we don't really have a lot of information about phase 2 right now. We are still getting estimates from or design plans from the, whatever you call it. So I have yet to see anything clear. I have not heard anything on funding this project. Without funding, there will be no phase 2. So I don't know at this point where we're at. And that I could say is general. I think probably the best person that would have maybe a little bit more information might be Sandy.
Yeah.
She might know more about, where we're at with the funding. I know that Nikki was working on some sizable grants to cover it, and good sized ones. And I do know that we have been working on the design and having it done by an architect. So that much I know. So, but Sandy's the best bet. What was the other one? Oh, bunkhouse.
Bunkhouse.
So the thing about bunkhouse is we are getting estimates on that now. At first it was this big mystery thing where we didn't think we were going to be able to do anything with it. We might have had to just bulldoze it and start fresh. But it looks like we have found somebody that can take care of it and get it back to where it is. So we are in the process of gathering estimates for that at this point. So it is on the list to address and move forward on. We have been pushing to get this stuff done. But we haven't gotten any estimates in, but at least we've gotten to the point where we found someone who could actually do it. It has to do with the actual structure of the building. There's only a certain amount of licensed professionals that can work on that type of building, however it is. And then there was some misleading information that we got from another contractor that told us that it had to do with the leaking off of the roof. It turns out that wasn't it. So it was just one. So it's not as dire of a major construction rehaul as we had thought. So as soon as that estimate is in, Melissa will be letting everybody know. But right now we have not gotten the estimate in, and I'm making sure that all the estimates come to me so I have an idea what's going on, even if we haven't, actually contracted the work. So
It
I
would,
don't know.
yeah, it would be greatly appreciated if all of us are kept in the loop as the progress is happening, because some of us are plan things a year out, and the adventurers is a prime example. We were basically forced off of all of our properties this year because there was no place that could accommodate us. And Ishamani is still an option for us because of the size, but obviously if construction starts to occur, then we can't do that. And SAC is a big question mark because I'm afraid that it's probably too small for us at this point. Five years basically down the road from when we last used it. So it would be useful for us to know that, because we do plan a year in advance what our dates are going to be.
Yeah, I would definitely sign up for the Rally Hood for property. That'll keep you updated, but certainly reach out to Melissa or myself if it pertains to the other, Ishamani, or I'm not Ishamani. Ishamani is Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy is the one that's dealing with all of that. So if you do have questions about that, I would definitely reach directly out to her. She'll have more answers than either Melissa or I will.
We do know, like Brenda said, that phase 2 is not all confirmed. It's not confirmed. So there's still more work to be done before they can
There's
get
a lot of talk.
Yeah, there's a lot more that has to be done for it to be completely
Right.
solid plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're trying to get it moved along. But like I said, here's the rally. There's a link. Make sure you join. They are posting regularly as updates. Bobby's doing a really great job of keeping everybody updated as things as contractors are showing up, all those kind of things. So things are really starting to move a lot quicker than in the past. So we're really thankful for that. Okay, Marin, I will turn it over to you for Marcom.
Hi everyone, I'm Marin. I'm filling in for Jennifer tonight. Here we have some upcoming dates for March and April. In addition to all the fun programs and events happening, we have a few Girl Scout holidays. First, we have Girl Scout Week, which will begin on Sunday, March 10th and end on Saturday the 16th. We will also celebrate Girl Scouts' 112th birthday on March 12th. In April, we have Volunteer Appreciation Month and Girl Scout Leaders Day. And next slide. During Girl Scout Week, we have a few Celebrate Faith events. If you like to participate in Girl Scout Sunday, Sabbath, Shabbat, or Jummah, we have some inserts you can pass out that are customized to those events, and you can request them on the link below. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. All right. So we're going to get into some travel and tips. So this is really, I feel like a bulk of you already know this, but we wanted to put something together just to make sure there was any questions or whatever. But we want to have it, and we're going to put this in the talking points for this March, so you can start using these to really kind of remind leaders what they need to do in order to do these activities. So where do they start? Travel planning should always start with troop and outdoor progression. It's important to understand that the Girl Scout progression as it relates to specific program levels. So for instance, for regional travel, Girl Scouts must be juniors or older. For national, international, and independent travel, Girl Scouts must be cadets or older. So you really want to make sure that they understand that it really should, like with daisies, it should be local field trips, day trips. And then Daisy Brownies, their second year daisies, they can start doing overnights, and they can start planning for camping and things like that. There's many opportunities for them to participate in Girl Scout travel. As a troop, they can go on a trip that the troop has planned themselves. They can, the service unit can plan a trip. The council has planned trips. And they also have movement-wide opportunities that are called getaways, and these can be found on the GSUSA website. And when I send this out, I'll link it. As an individual Girl Scout, again, they can go on trips that are organized by their service unit, the council, which typically are product reward trips, or they can go on what they call a destination, which is a movement-wide opportunity for cadets, seniors, and ambassadors and individual members to travel, usually internationally. So usually those are international trips. You want them to be prepared and complete the required training. So before moving away from the troop meeting place for local field trips, day trips, and overnights, regional or national trips, which do not include camping, they must complete GS 201 trips and overnights in GS Learn. You want to refer them to the travel trip safety activity checkpoints. Before a troop or group can go camping or participate in campfires and outdoor cooking, the leaders must complete GS 301 outdoor education planning and GS 301B overnight in person. So they also should refer to the camping and outdoor cooking safety activity checkpoints for complete details. Before planning begins for cruises, travel to Alaska, Hawaii, or international travel, leaders must complete GS 203 international trip training. Training is to be completed a minimum of 18 to 20 months before the tentative trip date and before girls and volunteers begin planning their first international trip. The key thing to remember that international travel includes any travel outside the 48 contiguous U.S. states, which also includes Alaska Highway and any U.S. territories, and travel by cruise trips. A lot of trips a lot of trips or what we're seeing is that a lot of troops will like to take cruises, but they forget that they need to take this training first. So this is why we want to remind them that they need to complete their training before they start planning. For first-time Girl Scout international trips, we recommend allowing 36 months of planning time. Some trips will take longer and they need to adjust accordingly, especially if they're not experienced in international travel. The other thing that they need to do is be prepared and complete the required forms. So we know that a troop is going to take an international trip or a cruise. They need to submit the intent to travel international trip form 2279. So this gets submitted first. And this form is a notification to the council so we can assign an international mentor and provide the required training. So we want to make sure that we know that they're going, so we have time to provide the training for them. We try to offer the training. Janet's usually one of the leaders, the council trainers that will provide it, actually. So kudos to Janet. But we try to provide this training a couple times a year, and we've been pretty good about that. But we do need to know, so we make sure if they miss the training, we can schedule another one. The key thing to remember is your intent to travel does not provide approval for the international trip. It only provides approval to begin planning. And then, as previously stated, in the updates on the 21-29 activity trip permission form, here's the outline of the schedule. So 4 weeks for, they need to submit the form at least 4 weeks and allow 4 weeks processing for any local trips within council boundaries or, and this, let me just clarify that one because this one's a little confusing. They only need it for local trips based on the safety activities that the activities that they're doing. Not all local field trips require the 2129 activity trip permission. It's based on the activity for local trips and the program P1 policy, which means if they're going camping, if they're going to, if they're planning on, they have non-members that want to go. It used to be about insurance, but we don't, that's been updated. But things like that. So they want to refer to the council policy P1, which is listed on the form that tells them when, but also the safety activity checkpoints, depending on what they're doing. And then when it comes to travel outside of council boundaries, which if you travel outside of council boundaries, you will need to submit the 2129 activity trip permission. You want to allow 6 weeks, especially for high-risk activities that involve other things like, canoeing, kayaking, zip lining, those kind of things, camping, and anything that might include sensitive topics. It's 8 weeks processing is required for trips that are out of state, but within the continental US, and for stable vendor approvals. Again, those stable vendor approvals take a little bit longer because of the need to be able to do a site inspection every 3 years. And then, of course, it takes, we need 12 weeks to process to required for international trips, and that includes travel to Alaska, Hawaii, US territories, and cruises. And we must have an approved intent to travel on file with council. So hopefully this is helpful, and that you can go through. Yep, Debbie, you have a question? Go ahead, Debbie. You can unmute.
I'm trying to, just to clarify, because we were recently told 4 weeks for the adventurer activities, which had come up from 2 weeks. Now are you telling us 6 weeks for us to turn in a trip permission?
I'm pretty sure that's what's on the, let me go back. I'm gonna escape out of here for just a second and go back to the original slide, whatever that said below. I'm pretty sure
And
that's.
the only reason I question it is this starts to create a huge problem in terms of registrations, because we've already backed up deadlines a month beyond what council was telling us. This will require us to back them up yet another 2 to 4 weeks in order to have the information to turn in a trip permission. Now, I do realize that we can always add bodies,
Right.
but we are lucky if we get commitments 6 weeks out.
Yeah, let me check the form and maybe just make sure that I got it right, and I'll update if it's not
Okay.
right. Give me just a second. I thought I was going by what the form said, but maybe it's been adjusted.
Well, and if you need to check it later, you can.
Well, I'll pull it up real quick.
I just wanted clarification because this is now a second change.
No, it shouldn't be a change. It should be consistent. So let me double check.
Yeah.
Let me double check. It doesn't mean I didn't make a mistake, so let me check. Okay, 4, 6, 8, 12. Okay, that's what's on the form is 4, 6, 8, 12.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be any different than this was whatever has been previously publicized. This is what's been publicized. So 4, 6, 8, 12.
I think originally when it came out several months ago, it was a very condensed version and it just basically said 4 weeks. So this is an extension of that, which is actually on the form, but this is now, we need to change our training process.
Okay, so 6, it says includes high risk camping, those things. Yeah, so it looks like it was 6 weeks is what
Okay. All right. I will have Amy change it again.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right. Well, thanks for clarifying though. That's good.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, sure. Okay, doke. All right. So the other things that come up during travel planning is use of troop funds. We want to remind the troops that troops funds belong to the troop as a whole and cannot be used for experiences that are not related to Girl Scout experiences. Troop funds should be used to purchase supplies for troop program activities, membership dues, purchase earned recognition insignia, uniform components, and pay for girls to participate in program-related activities such as summer camp, Girl Scout summer camp, field trips, travel experiences, and then obviously their community service or take action projects. Troop funds in any form cannot be given to girls, group or individuals to utilize for activities or experiences outside of Girl Scouting. We get this request a lot, believe it or not. They're like, can we, pay for them to go on their own trip somewhere else? No, unfortunately you can't. With the exception of take action projects, participating in troop activities are to be as a troop, not as an individual. The basis of these regulations are IRS regulations for nonprofits, and it's not something that we can circumvent. Troop leadership should troop leadership should always do the best to plan and make adjustments so all troop members can participate whenever possible, especially for travel experiences. And this is really important when they are ambassadors and this is their last year and their last trip or their last activity. So you want to make sure that all the girls that are and the parents are involved in the planning so they know, this is it. You've raised all this money. You want to be able to spend it, participate. Make sure that everybody can participate. Do your best. I mean, we understand, but at least have the conversations. So we have also made some updates to the Brenda, you can help me with this. The VF8 procedures regarding reimbursements. So I'm gonna kind of go through these updates. Volunteers may only receive reimbursement for expenses when the costs are discussed as part of the troop or group product goal setting and planning and budgeting. So it means it needs to be discussed with the girls and the girls should be deciding, what is being covered and what they're using their troop funds for. The adult, if you're being reimbursed, the adult should have direct responsibility for supervising a group of girls during the activity for which the expenses are being reimbursed. And when applicable, the adult should participate in the council approved money earning activities to help offset the cost to the troop. Reimbursements for expenses cannot ever exceed $599 per person per calendar year. Volunteers are not allowed to issue or pay out a stipend. Reimbursements can never be issued by the person receiving the reimbursement. There must always be accountability. Reimbursements can never be issued without an expense receipt that correlates to the exact amount being reimbursed. Girl Scout and personal expenses should never be commingled. Reimbursements can never be in the form of cash, gift cards, or prepaid debit cards. Reimbursements, hold on just a second, Janet, I'll be there in just a second. Reimbursements may only be in the form of check or electronic transfer. Volunteers are not ever allowed to use troop funds to pay for personal in-kind, personal or family household expenses as another means of reimbursement. All right, Janet, you can unmute if you want.
So let me just clarify. You said that, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone, so I can't really see it very well.
Okay,
The total for the year per volunteer was limited to $599 per, I assume, like fiscal year for our financial reporting, correct?
No,
no,
it's
it's,
per calendar year. I'll answer this one.
yep. go ahead.
It's per calendar year, and this is based on the fact that if you pay someone more than $599, then you have to file a 1099. And the remaining, and the money, the entire amount is taxable income to that person.
Even if it's reimbursable money?
Yep.
I mean,
Yes, that's
okay,
the
well,
tax law.
that's something that's going to become a problem because we just talked about international trips, and there are situations where, like, as an example, I've had to personally pay for the flight first because sometimes what happens is our debit cards will only go
Well,
so far, right?
This is,
And
okay, so that's different. Okay, these types, we're not talking about expenses that you incurred. We're talking about, well, maybe we are. Mileage is basically what this is the biggest thing we're sticking to for mileage.
okay,
Is because mileage is paid out, we know, but if you are being reimbursed for a transaction that you already paid out, that's different. This 599, we should have clarified it in here. This 599 applies to mileage or gas reimbursement expenses. But other than that, yeah, the other stuff,
okay.
you can just pay as long as you have to submit a receipt and then you definitely get reimbursed.
But
No problem.
definitely, Brenda, I definitely think we should highlight that as gas and mileage.
Clarify it.
and
Yes.
because you're right. Because they do have to pay for other things just because their debit card, like she said, especially for international travel. So
But we've been so wrapped up in this mileage reimbursement, we were really thinking about the other reimbursements. So
Oh.
yes, we will clarify that and straighten that out. That's
Marin, we'll
not-
make another update to that.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's good to have, this is why we want to show y'all first before we
right.
everybody else, because y'all pick up on things that we miss. What was I gonna say? I don't know now. I don't know. Yeah, but it was basically, so what you don't want is having someone, use, first off, kind of misappropriating funds where they're like, oh, I drove all these girls, so now I'm gonna go pay for my family a meal, and use troop funds to pay for their personal expenses or household items and stuff like that. So, and believe it or not, those are some things that have seen happen, in the past. But yes, this was basically about gas and mileage reimbursement because it is the one, and that was what I was gonna say. The reason why gas and mileage reimbursement, and because there is it's so relatable to employee expenses, right, Brenda? I don't know, you probably can say it better than I do, and that's why it really is about focusing on mileage and gas.
Right. That 599. Because okay, the IRS hasn't changed its mileage rate since the 50s.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that eventually they will, but I don't have any hopes because they all operate as if they're in the 50s. So that is our biggest concern is people, because when you're putting in, if you have a gas, even gas or mileage receipt, you have no proof, you don't, as a troop leader, that particular person actually did that. When you have a receipt for flights, you know that those flights were purchased for those girls, unless it's a flight that the girls didn't go on and it has the family's name on it. So it's the mileage that we are trying to be really clear with on this, and just clamping down on, because it is also a high trigger point for the IRS. And it's just one of the things that they will focus on with businesses. And you guys are all operating under our tax ID, so we're responsible for how you operate. So, but that $5.99 and
Yeah,
that
so
all has to do with that mileage.
yeah, so we'll go back and clarify that this is gas and mileage.
Yes. We should move it, we'll move it down
Yeah,
to that mileage section.
Yep.
So,
that'll make it more clear.
yeah,
Okay, so the key things they want to have, they do need to have receipts. So, and again, they can't be reimbursed both. So they can't be reimbursed gas and
Right.
mileage. It's never both. And again, they need to have a receipt that's equal to the amount, that they're using for the Girl Scout activity. We recommend that they start on a full tank, so it's easy, and you reimburse them at the end of the activity right then. Don't wait.
yeah, and they have to have a written log.
Yes.
That's another thing that the IRS likes to nab you for. So,
Yeah.
I like to suggest that, if they are going to be doing it on a regular basis, either they get an app in their phone that's free that tracks it, or they have a little notepad, one of those tiny little ones, and you put it in. That's what I did to track mileage. So.
So, and then when you do the reimbursements, those need to be submitted with your end of the year finance reports. There should be a description of the purpose, like what activity it was for, and then the name of the person being reimbursed. And of course, the council is not responsible for mileage, gas, or other Girl Scout related expenses, reimbursements to the volunteers incurred through troops, groups, service units, or summer camps. So did I miss anything? I think we covered it all. Any other questions about this? I'm just trying to make it clear. But thank you, Janet, for stating that.
Yes, definitely.
So this is an area that I think there's just been a lot of ambiguity. I can't even say it. I can't talk tonight.
I'm
Ambiguity.
not saying it.
Yeah, ambiguity. And so and it comes up a lot with, parents and chaperones and all these things. So you just want to make sure that, we've had instances where we've had conflict over reimbursements regarding gas and mileage. So we just want to make sure that it's as clear as it can be. Any other questions? If not, we're going to go to some other fun stuff. So
We have a question.
we have a question. Yep. What?
It's Diane Smith asked,
Oh.
what about driving to Timbuktu? I'm assuming that's Timbuktu
So,
to pick up cookies for a troop. That would, I don't know, do I want to talk?
well, I think I think Sandy has some information in the cookie guidelines
Okay.
about that. So you want to refer to the cookie guidelines in reference to that. So here's the thing. You can always keep track of your mileage and submit that to the IRS as a write-off. Like you can do that there, but I think the same thing. It's going to be at 14 cents a mile. I don't know about gas. That again, it depends on if it's a troop reimbursing a parent doing it versus someone like an area rep doing it for multiple Girl Scouts. So I think we'd need a little more clarification, but I would definitely say speak to the key thing. If there's going to be a reimbursement, the girls need to be able to decide and know what's happening, right? So it's the troop funds and it's supposed to be girl led, so they should be part of the discussion. If a troop is going to refund a co-leader, a parent, or whatever for picking up cookies. And again, I would still refer to your cookie guidelines about that. If there's not anything in there, let me know and I'll have Sandy reach out. Diane, does that help? Hopefully that helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The key thing that comes up about reimbursements is, the family's like, where'd all the money go, And if you're not discussing it with the girls and the families, then, and not being like showing where the money's going, then, it needs to be transparent, basically. So that will help. That will help. Okay, so exciting news. GSUSA is going to start providing what they call Girl Scout experience boxes for new Daisy troops. It's going to start this fall. The first boxes will be shipped to new troops that start this, like, I think from the July, June, July time when we get them started. So any troops that start are actually after, I think after through extended year. I can't remember. Elizabeth, I don't know if you remember. Did they give us an exact start date? I can't remember now on the call, but the cool thing is
First box is in August.
the first box is in August, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
My voice,
But I
sorry.
don't know if they actually said based on the troop starts. Does that make sense? So that was what I was asking, but that's okay. We'll clarify.
Yeah.
And basically, so from August to January 2025, new troops, new Daisy troops will get this cool little box right here. And so we're really, really excited about that. And so every new Daisy troop that gets a box will get what they call the welcome box. And then there's going to be a schedule when all like 2 through 8. So depending on when they start, they will get the welcome box, and then their first box may be considered in caring or money explorer, just depending on when they start. But there's going to be a schedule, and the idea is they will get these boxes depending on their start date, but it should take them through their first year. The boxes, what's in the box, it's everything they need to complete the activities. It just will not include the actual pedals and badges. They'll have to purchase those separately. But it'll look a lot like this. I know it's kind of busy, but it'll have their first welcome meeting and a meeting guide, the content cards of whatever's supposed to be in the box. And then like your promise of law, and then all about your troop, showing your Daisy, and then all the supplies needed to complete the activities. Troops with 8 or fewer girls registered will receive 12 sets of supplies because they know that Daisy troops grow quickly. And then they can get troops that have over 8 girls registered will receive additional 5 sets of supplies. So to make sure that they're covering the amount, because again, they know that Daisy's troops grow quickly. So they want to make sure that as girls come on board, they have the supplies to do that. And then in their box, there'll be an additional card with QRs to direct them to the council website so they can sign up on for all the cool events and things. So again, there'll be a schedule. The first ones will go out in August of 2024. There'll be 2 shipments per month to decrease the wait time. New troops will always receive a welcome box. Troops receive the box in the month before they use let me say that again. Troops receive the box in the month before they use in the existing Daisy 1 troop year plan. Box 4, which will be the cookie, can be shipped up to 4 times for each council. So there'll be one specifically about cookies. And then it's intended again for first year Daisy troops who will mostly be following the troop year plan. Councils will indicate, so the CEMs and I will be the ones indicating in the troops that they are to receive. There's a specific subtype that will indicate in their troop account, so they get them. And then troop leaders will be able to redeem their box and submit their own mailing address. So just kind of like we did the t-shirts, there will be a GS event that they go in and redeem their box, and that way it gets mailed directly to them. The first box will not ship until the troop has at least 4 registered Girl Scouts and 1 designated troop leader. So hopefully that's exciting. We're really excited about this. The other thing they said is that eventually they will probably working on Girl Scout experience boxes for new Brownie troops. And I guess eventually junior troops too. So usually our recruitment efforts are focused on Daisy Brownies and juniors for the most part. So that should be coming at a later date. Any questions about that? I hope y'all are excited. We're excited. It's nice to be able to kick them off.
Hey Jody, quick question.
Yep.
For clarification, do troops need 4 or 5 Girl Scouts?
So they're supposed to start with 5. Our council says 5. And so it's supposed to be 5 girls and 2 co-leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I think with this, GSUSA is basically saying, hey, we're expecting you to get that 5th girl and that 2nd leader, but we want to get it out to them. So that way when they they're ready to start, they actually have the box.
Okay, that makes sense. I just wanted to check that that wasn't a change from our council requirements.
It's not, it's just, they want to make sure, I think it's the shipments, they know with the shipments, there can be delays, and so they just want to make sure that the troop, hopefully it's another incentive to kind of get off the ground as well, but that's again why they're doing 2 per month as well, to get the box out to them in time, so they can actually, jump into all the fun activities. So thanks for that, that's a great question. All right, so other resources in the works, we're going to, in addition to recruitment events that are in person, a lot of times we know that we go out into the communities and they only have this one event that they can go to in that specific, community. And so what we're going to do is try to start planning a virtual option. So if they miss that in person, they have a second opportunity to, learn more about Girl Scouts and virtual. That way, if they don't have a sitter or, whatever, if they, can't get away, they can at least find out more information. The other thing that we're going to bring back is our new leader welcome orientation. So it's going to be a virtual, basically, and it's going to kind of go over this new leader co-leader handbook. So this, we're developing the new co-leader handbook. Emily, who's not here tonight, but she reached out to Greater New York. They have a really great book. We're just going to work off of there so we can get it quickly turned around, and so it'll replace our outdated troop notebook. So we're really excited about these resources that are coming. So we're working on a few new other things that are coming their way, everybody's way. So and so lastly, I think Marin announced, so registration's still open for the recognitions, and we'd love to have you. The deadline is April 8th. Don't forget, Service Unit Team Campout's coming out in May. Registration's already open, and we are going to be focusing on service unit teams and service unit team plannings, and what is a service unit, and what do we need to strengthen our service unit communities. So we hope you'll join us, or at least have at least one person from your service unit join us. That would be great. Training dates that are coming up. We have a virtual service unit team finance orientation. As we said earlier, cadet program aid. We got some gold award workshops. Another one's coming in person in Charlottesville. I'm working on the registration for that. And then outdoor ed is coming up. Unfortunately, this spring we weren't able to get any more scheduled than the one, but we're working on for the fall to have ones in Roanoke and in Camp Sac and Sugar Hollow in the fall. Training for trainers is coming up on April 13th or 14th. So if you have anybody that's wanting to be a trainer, please have them register. And then of course, more highest awards and CIT and cadet program aid. And so, yeah, that's what we have coming up in regards to training. Yes, you have a question, Debbie? Go ahead, Debbie.
Sorry.
No.
Do you want to mention that we're doing event training in March?
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, thank you for that. So
Yeah.
at Wild Women's Weekend, they will be offering an event training planning. I've had recently offered one in December, one in February. Still February, the beginning of February. And so, but they're going to offer another one. And Debbie, do you want to tell them where?
Yeah, so it is part of our Wild Women's Weekend, but anybody can come up and participate in that event training. We have trainers that will be there. It is going to be at Mountain Shepherd Adventure Camp, which is up in Craig County, roughly a half hour from where 311 meets 419 out there in Hanging Rock. So it would take you a half hour from there, and then add whatever your mileage or time is from there. It will probably start at 8 or 8:30 in the morning and run until noon or however long it takes them. I can't remember. It's like 3 to 4 hours, isn't it, Jody?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, anybody is welcome to participate in that. Sorry it's so far away for a lot of people, but that's where we are for our weekend. And we just wanted to let everybody know that if there is somebody that needs on-site, in-person event training, they are welcome to join us. They do need to let us know ahead of time so they can email me I guess is the best way to do it. And I can put my email address in the chat.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
That would be perfect. And quick question, I know Liz doing tomahawk and hatchet trying, but are y'all, is that mainly filled with the program coordinators already? I didn't-
So at this point, I think she's only got 5 in the class.
Okay.
And she does have a helper.
Okay.
So theoretically, we could open it up if somebody's interested. We cannot take a whole lot of extra though.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, if somebody says, oh, I got 5 people that want to come, that's probably not going to happen.
No, we'll schedule another one if that's the case. So.
Exactly, if there's that many, but you know, 1 or 2 individuals, we can accommodate that. That will run at the same time on Saturday morning.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just put your email in the chat that way if they
Okay, yeah,
want to
I'll just
participate.
put the adventurers email in there.
So all of that is part of the Wild Women's Weekend registration. So that's why it's not separate. It's all part of all inclusive for them. So, but yeah, reach out to Debbie if you have anybody that needs it. That would be great. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. It is now your time to share of what is going on in your community and anything else that you would like to discuss.
Well, I'll advertise Adventurers Wild Women's Weekend while we're sitting here. It is coming up March 8th through 10th. It starts on Friday evening at 7 o'clock, runs to about 2 o'clock on Sunday. If you know anybody that's interested in working with older girls and is interested in the Adventures program, high adventure activities, we would love to have them. Registration technically closes on the 28th of this month because we have to plan food. But you know, I can always accommodate 1 or 2 extras slipping in at the last minute, as long as they have time to do everything that needs to be done ahead of time. There is one prerequisite, which is trips and overnight training. And we need to get you settled into the Troop 1912 roster and onto the GS Learn system. That doesn't take long, but I'm not able to handle a whole bunch of people at the very last minute. But reach out to me if you're interested and I'll set you up with the registration form and whatever.
Thanks, Debbie. Great.
Well, and you know, I got a big event going on Sunday. This is Janet. And I just want to make sure anybody who is local to Charlottesville is aware and can come by. It's not just for the Charlottesville service unit. We're having a Taylor Swift dance party. It's a membership drive. And we already have almost 100 girls registered to attend. They get a free patch. So like if you're in Nelson or Orange or anybody on this call that knows folks who are local, everybody's welcome and it's perfectly free. We would love to have you. It's 1 to 5 p.m. at Walker Upper Elementary. And there's a link on the council page that you can use to register if you want to register, but you don't have to pre-register. You can just come. We'll have space.
Great. Thank you, Janet. They're excited. We're really excited about this event. So how are registrations going or the interest?
We have right now, as of right now, we have about 100 girls registered. So I can't see personally because I can only see what's in our service unit. So I haven't cross-referenced to see how many are existing members versus new members. But I've had a lot of folks reach out, even from, I had a homeschooling mom from Lynchburg reach out and ask if she could come. She wants to start a daisy troop for her daughter next year. And I was like, bring it on, let's do it. So we've had quite a lot of interest. I'm real excited to see all the interest.
Well, I'll be there, and I know Nikki's going to try to be there too. So we're really excited. Thank you for Angelica for posting that. That's awesome. Yeah, great. So Angelica posted the flyer in the chat. So awesome. So click on it, download it, and definitely come if you can. And if it's, you know, that's one of the things, like if this really goes over well, we might do it again in some of the other areas. So we're going to glean from what Janet and Angelica and all the volunteers in Charlottesville have done. So seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Super cute.
And I just copied in the poster, but if you want the actual like high def PDF, I'm sure Janet can send that to you as well. but I just wanted folks to see what it is.
Yeah, thank you. Janet, do you want to put your email? Is your email in there? You can put your email address in there if they want to reach out to you.
I can do that. Let me do that right now.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Thanks. All right. Does anybody have anything else to share? How we doing? I know we're a little bit over, so I just want, but I want to give you a chance to share what's maybe going on in your area or anything that you have questions about.
I can quickly
Charity.
share. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just sorry, this is Angelica from also Charlottesville, Albemarle. And since it's Thinking Day, I just thought I'd share that we are doing a Thinking Day event in our service unit, largely geared daisies to juniors, but also some cadets will be there. So we have about, I think, 80 girls registered for that. And so everyone will, you know, do a country and bring a swap and a snack. We even have a professional bagpiper coming, which is pretty exciting. That one of the troops is bringing in. And we're going to be doing the badge work for that as well. So that's something we're looking forward to. And I over-ordered badges. So if any other people need some, I posted it in the Rally Hood, but please let me know. I'd love to send them to you and you can pay me versus buying them new. Cool. Thanks.
No, no problem. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. That's exciting. We're really glad to hear that you that all the people that are coming. That's all the girls are coming. That's awesome. Fantastic. Diane, you ready to share?
Well, I just had a question. You know, we're only 3 troops down here, and trying to get first aid training for my people around this area is like non-existent.
Okay.
Is there anywhere that training will come together to get our first aid training?
So
Last year or the year before, I had to drive somewhere to get my training, and Arlene had one else for training.
Where are you located?
We have nothing in this area. We're in Carroll County,
Galax Carol.
Galax, Hillsville.
Kristen, I saw your question. I'll answer that in just a minute. So believe it or not, I had someone reach out to me and I'm trying to nail this down, but they said they would come and go. They would go. It's like I explained to them, we got 36 counties and these are the 36 counties. So and I'm trying to see if I can get a discount. So I think she will do it for $60. I don't know how reasonable that is. But they will do the whatever, the first aid, CPR, whatever. And it'll be for American Red Cross. And I'm pretty sure that she'll come to you. So Diane, let me see if I can get you in contact because I'm trying to work that out. So basically have somebody that's, willing to put it together. If you can find a location near you, my understanding is they'll come to you, but we'll double check. But I want you, I've acted in looking for something like that. People reach out to us, but then when we tell them like, hey, we're all over, these are the 36 counties, they won't necessarily, participate. Yeah. So Kristen says our local fire department sometimes has someone who will help with the training. And typically that's what we would say to Kristen, like go to your local volunteer fire department, because sometimes they are certified and because they're training their own staff, they'll train y'all as volunteers too. So Diane, is that something y'all have available or have you looked into or no?
No, I've tried 2 years ago and we got nowhere with them at
Gotcha.
all. Then I tried at the Twin County Hospital. They said they had some lady up there that could do it, and
Right.
she's not doing it no more.
Got
We
it.
don't even have a Red Cross in this area.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so most of them, they are generally cheaper than Red Cross. And the person that reached out to me is not from Red Cross. I think they're actually able to do American Heart, Red Cross, and something else. I can't remember what the other one was, but she did quote me a rate of $60. But she didn't necessarily tell me how many people had to be guaranteed in order to have that. So I'll try to find out, but I don't know if that's reasonable or not. I know compared to Red Cross, I think Red Cross is upwards of $90-some.
Oh my goodness, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Um,
So I
So
just need to find a place or try to get a place.
yeah, try to find a location and then we can touch base. And and that will kind of help me work through this process to get this, because what I'm trying to do is get some regular ones scheduled at least at our properties, so people can sign up and come, and she can let me know what the limit is or whatever. So Angelica said 72 in person plus 19 for the online portion. Gotcha. Yeah, because there is a lot of them are hybrid. So yeah, it sounds like if they'll come and do it in person for $60 altogether. And again, I'll have to find out same thing. If there may be an online component, Diane, a lot of them are going to like part of it's hybrid. So the first part's done online and the second part is done in person. So I need to confirm there's no additional cost. So that's a good point, Angelica. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, and then going back to Kristen had a question. Let me scroll up. How long is it typical for approval on trip forms and reservation forms? I think it depends on the trip. It's supposed to be two to 2 weeks processing, but I think some are taking a little bit longer. Like international will take a little bit longer just because a lot of times we're waiting on, like when someone submits their international, they have to also submit all their contact information and passport numbers and things like that. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the troop leaders to gather that information. Sometimes we also, like, for instance, we have a lot of them that do EF tours and they don't get their final itinerary until closer to the trip. So we have to get that final itinerary before we can prove it. But the other ones should only take about 2 weeks. If it's taken longer than that, I ask that you reach out to Melissa Hildebrand as she oversees that. So just reach out to info at and attention Melissa. And, if it's been longer than 2 weeks, definitely reach out to Melissa. Okay, yeah, definitely reach out. I don't know, I don't know. Sometimes it is a background check issue, but they should be communicating if someone's having a background check issue, you know what I'm saying? So I know those can hold it up too. You have a new person that just didn't realize they're not supposed to update their background check or something. But yeah, I would recommend reaching out to Melissa about that specific trip. As far as reservations, is reservations like for council property, right? Is that what you mean referencing as well? Yeah, okay. Same thing, shouldn't take longer than 2 weeks. If it's longer than that, have I assume they've reached out already and requested payment?
Hey, Jody. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, there's Barbara. She
Yeah.
can answer that. She's on here. Okay, go ahead. Barbara, you can answer that because you're the one that's processing them, right? I forgot you were here.
hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We just have a backlog and we're going as fast as we can. I hate to say that, but we've been inundated with cookie and membership before that. And so I'm hoping to spend most of my work day tomorrow trying to catch up on the reservations. And we try to do them in the order that they come in. And so it's just hard to do them when we're on the phones and working other things, because since we have 3 properties, I don't want to put somebody's reservation for Ikamani if they're really not use Sugar Hollow and that kind of thing. So again, just appreciate your patience and get to them as fast as we can.
So you'll be reaching out to Kristen for payment. I guess.
Yeah. I don't know which reservation that she's specifically speaking of, but yeah, I can certainly reach out to her first thing tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for letting us know about the backlog. So that's helpful to share. Sorry about that. Okay. Anything else that we need to chat about? I know we're about right at 8:30. I just want to be cognizant of your time. Okay. Well, if not, we thank you for being here and hope you had a great World Thinking Day. The next roundtable will be April 25th. And then we'll have the service unit team camp out on May 4th and 5th. And we will also have a virtual town hall March 28th. and May 23rd. So I really recommend that you join the March 28th virtual town hall. We're going to have a guest from GSUSA. So it's very important that you join us. Debbie, go ahead. What was your?
Jody, are you still transmitting? I know you're still recording these. Are you still transmitting that to us after these meetings so that we can pass it on?
Yes. So it's taken a little bit longer because what I have to do is I have to download the recording now, and then I give it to Moran, and she posts it on YouTube, and then I'll share the link. So yes,
Okay.
I post this in the service unit roundtable. The town hall recordings are going and being posted in the Girl Scout Connection.
Okay.
But the roundtables will be posted in the service unit Rallyhood.
Gotcha. Okay. Just wanted to double check because I knew the process had changed.
No, yeah. So yeah, we have to now post it to YouTube to get the link, and at some point we're gonna figure out how to just stream live to the YouTube link, but we haven't figured that out yet. So we just haven't gone there, but
Okay.
to speed up the process. But yeah, so as soon as this is over, I'll process the recording, send it to Marin, she'll get it to YouTube, and I'll post the link in Rallyhood.
Should be
Thank
up by
you.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, Marin, go ahead. What were you saying?
It should be up by tomorrow once you know your process.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you. All right, yeah, so I should be able to post that tomorrow then. Great. Thank you, Marin. All right. Okay. Otherwise, just thank you for being here. Have a lovely evening. And I'll hang back and we'll stop the recording. And let's see.